Well, we all know it's Tuesday, and when it's Tuesday, y'all already know that Boss Cowboys going to be bringing you a Measure Koolaid report about Competition Tuesdays. So a couple of competition things that I want to talk about was obviously to kind of build on my star player, which was Donovan Wilson. And so Donovan Wilson, he played with the speed, the toughness, the availability, and he was relentless. So a lot of people have been asking, what does that mean for Curse? Well, honestly, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything at all, because Curse himself, when you come to Donovan Wilson, actually Donovan Wilson played, even in his best years, a majority of free more than he even played in the strong. So likely we're going to see both of those guys on the field, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. Plus, Dan Quinn runs a lot of packages with three safeties. So he runs those packages, especially against offenses that have good tight ends. So, and what he does is he takes Curse and makes him a tight end eraser, which is like a big nickel, where he takes the strong side linebacker out, and then he substitute that with Curse, which then allows Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson to remain on the field with both the safety positions. So when it comes down to people concerned about the uptick of Donovan Wilson's play taken away from Curse, to be honest, it's not going to happen. But it's more so going to be a competition between, in my opinion, as time goes on. You're going to see more competition between Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson, because they're going to always have to be primarily two primary safeties on the field at all times. So even without the special packages that Dan Quinn represents, you don't have to worry about that, except between Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker. The competition is not going to be, even going forward at all, going to be between Jerron Curse and Donovan Wilson. I don't perceive that happening at all. So obviously on Competition Tuesday, something else that's been staring up that I think everybody's eyes are seeing is the correct way. There's a call from the crowd to want to see more competition at the linebacker position. Because, see, we all know Stephen Jones talked about the young guys giving a chance, and that he wants the young guys to get a chance. Well, Stephen Jones, if you really believe that, you need to work in a way for certain linebackers to start getting more tick at the middle. Because we seen LVE at the middle linebacker position, and there were certain games to where he actually played good. I would say the Bengals game was his best game in a while. I mean, he dislodged the ball. He was getting off blocks. He made some key plays, some solo tackles that were strong in the Bengals game. But it's been pretty downhill since, and it's been more of the same that we've been seeing with LVE for some time. So if you're really committed to your young guys like you say you are, Stephen Jones, Dan Quinn, Mike McCarthy, it's time to see Cox. It's time to see Harper. It's time to just test it, because obviously we know what LVE is. We don't quite know what those other guys are until you give them a chance. So it's time, in our opinion, as the fans, we want to see the competition. We want to at least test it. We want you to test it just like you're committed at the guard position. You're committed to your young guys. You're committed to your young tackles. We have all seen you, Stephen Jones. We've seen you commit to those tackles and give them a lot of chances, especially in preseason. We've seen you do it now, rotating the guards out with McGovern, with Farniok versus Peters. And Peters had a Hall of Fame career, but we see you committed to the competition. Well, where's the competition at linebacker? Where's the commitment to the young guys there? Because, yeah, we still have young guys, and the question is LVE now a progress stopper? Because we know philosophically that you believe in giving young guys opportunity, but yet we not seeing it at that middle linebacker position. And yes, the defense is good. Yes, the defense been getting sacks. Yes, the defense has been, balling out, and they've been limiting points. But nobody's blind to the fact that we could be even better. So we never want to be the type of fans that rest on our laurels, and because the group is doing good, we want to give credit to the whole defense. Sometimes the group can be doing good, but there's certain pieces in your defense or in your group that can make it even better. And if we trying to be greedy about championships and ideas that's going to win 6, that should be one. That should be one. Another area that obviously we're seeing more competition in, obviously the running back position. But this time, Kellen Moore didn't really help. He gave more carries to Zeke, but he also didn't help Zeke with the way he was using Zeke. I went over this last night when I talked about me sleeping on the game, and I went through every running play, and I'm gonna show it on the film today or tomorrow. I'm gonna show it by the film. They was using Zeke very uncreatively, versus with Pollard, they was showing more versatility. They was using Zeke straight crashing them against Allen and Payne. That's all they was pretty much doing with Zeke for the majority of the game on Sunday. Versus with Pollard, they would run him to the left. They would run him to the right. They would run him up the middle. They would run a drop with him. They even ran a toss with him. They even threw to him. So I want to see in this competition of the running backs, if it's a competition, because what it really looks like to me, it looks like this is one of those, this is why I don't trust Kellen Moore. It looks like this is one of those front office things to where they're predetermining what they want to do with Zeke even during the season, and they trying to phase him out like they did Amari Cooper last year. That's what it looks like. So honestly, on running back, even though Zeke got a majority of those carries, the quality of carries was horrible. It was horrible play calling in terms of the quality. Yeah, we ran the ball, but it was obvious, even by Kellen Moore's own words, that the whole time we was running the ball, he wanted to throw it.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So but you learn, you grow. I think it's just understanding there's different styles to every game. And
so now you can't deny it. Because see, when I was saying that people, it's conspiracy theory, boss is a conspiracy theorist. Boss, oh no, Kellen Moore, he's committed to the run. He is, boss, you're tripping. No, I'm not. Listen to Kellen Moore himself.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So but you learn, you grow. I think it's just understanding there's different styles to every game. And
he said it himself that with everything in him, he wanted to throw the ball all day. You can't trust Kellen Moore. That's why I've said in pivotal situations, he is going to be more prone to want to throw it at the wrong time. That's why he's struggling lately to close out games, because he has no true understanding nor value of the running game. Even though he say he does, he don't. Because see, I had this issue before with a lady before, to where she was saying, I love you, but she was acting crazy. See, love is what love does. So you can't be crazy and you can't be doing opposite of what you're preaching, but then say you committed to it. No, you're not. You're not committed to it. And so we need to call it out. Because nobody else is saying it. So if ain't nobody else saying it, we gonna say it on this channel. So this is the deal. Moving to the last place, the competition between the quarterbacks. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really no competition between the quarterbacks. Even Cooper Rush said himself. He said it himself, y'all. I'm sorry. I know y'all want to hear something different, but he said it himself. He said we've been winning this game because of the defense. And see, this is the thing. When the guy is saying himself, it's a team effort. That the wins that we've been having as of late, I know everybody want to put all wins and all losses on the quarterback, like wins and losses are quarterback stat. I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say this. It's not. Wins and losses are a cumulative effect. It's what Brent did with the kicking game. It's what the defense did as a unit. It's also, we can add him into this, what Cooper Rush did. You could also add what his receivers did. You can add so many factors into the wins other than just quarterback play. So those of us who really understand the game know there's no competition between the quarterbacks. Because, and Jerry also talked about today, if we're talking about Jerry and his Mandarin, if we talk about Jerry Mandarin, he also said today, and it was a realistic statement, he said basically we don't have the time that we did with Romo. So what made in the beginning, even Dak himself in 2016 for about the first 5 or 6 games was saying this is Romo's team. But then it started to change as time went on because the games that he began to win was also a lot because of him, number one. Number two, the games that he was winning was really, really big games. So nobody cared when at first he was running through the Washington football team when he won it. Nobody cared when he beat the Bengals in 2016. Nobody cared about that. But what started to open up people's eyes is when Dez Bryant was out for 3 games. So he's out for 3 games, and still Dak goes up to Green Bay and beat them while throwing 3 touchdowns, and at that time didn't throw no interceptions. And he already in that game broke Tom Brady's rookie record for completions without an interception, and he broke it twice. And he kept going in terms of competition. The next super big game was Pittsburgh, where he had 43 seconds to have a game-winning drive. I know a lot of people like to try to give that credit to Zeke because he had the last touchdown with the last touch. But who drove them down there in 43 seconds? It was Dak. Cooper Rush ain't did nothing like that yet. Let's just keep it real. He ain't did nothing like that yet. So it's not even a conversation until we see something like that, to be honest. It's not even a thought to Jerry and them. It's like, and see, this is the key. Remember what happened also is Romo sealed his own fate. He was sitting there with Stephen Jones. So as he's sitting there with Stephen Jones, he looks right at Stephen and say, when Dak led that game-winning drive versus Pittsburgh in 2016, he looked right at him and said, that ain't easy to do. See, he sealed his fate with that. See, he didn't know he was talking to a true capitalist. When you're talking to a true capitalist, what that signaled is, oh, he did what only you can do? Then why do we need you? Why should we keep paying you? And that was the end of Romo. The end of Romo was the success of the Pittsburgh game. So as we talk about Competition Tuesdays, I'm summing up everything every week as the game goes on and as we see more games. Eventually we go stop having Competition Tuesdays because it's going to all settle in, and especially as we start getting ready for potential postseason, we're going to know who this team is. We're going to know who the key people are. It's going to all play out. But while it's playing now, we need to keep the pressure on linebacker. We need to keep the pressure on not just Kellen Moore calling running plays, but the right running plays. And we do want to see more out of Cooper Rush before we have a serious conversation about quarterback competition, because at this point it's not serious yet. But either way, it's Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. We gonna keep bringing you this type of report, so y'all stay up. Peace.